Hey Scrappy Peeps, Suzanna here today for SpiegelMomScraps to share with you a 80s 90s layout that I created. This is the layout. It is of a collection of 80s mixtapes that my mom recently delivered me to my house from her house on a recent trip that she came and visited. So I have this giant box of cassette tapes from my childhood that she wanted out of her house and brought to my house. And I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with all these cassette tapes because I don't have a boombox anymore and I have no means of listening to them. But I wanted to document this collection of mixtapes that I have and the eclecticness and how mixed up they are. So I found this file on, I think it was Google Images, and it was basically these geometric sort of shapes. And in the background, it actually had circles and squiggly lines or something. And I just traced these geometric shapes and created a digital cut file from it. And just like it was in the image, it was pink and this sort of electric blue. I cut that in pink and in blue. So the bulk of this video is actually of me putting together that cut file. So I just had the shapes. I didn't separate what was going to be pink and what was going to be blue. I cut the whole file out and then put it back together like a jigsaw puzzle. And I actually didn't have it cut to the edges of the 8.5 by 11 paper. You can see there, just at the very edges, it was slightly connected so that I couldn't, when I pulled it off the mat, have a large sheet to much more easily reconstruct the layout. So I just alternated, honestly, between blue, pink, and I used the other pieces to help put it together, literally like a jigsaw puzzle, and then took out the negatives that I didn't want because I did want black showing through for this. And so I'm just going to go ahead and paste all of this together. I am going to apologize ahead of time that my video doesn't record all the way till the end. I might be guilty of having recorded just a few too many process videos that I haven't taken down off my phone, and my storage is getting short, or my storage is now gone. And so it cut off the last couple of minutes of my video, but you really don't miss much. So here again, I'm still just piecing this together, and there are a few lines that don't go straight to the edge, but I'm not really worried about it because it's not glaringly obvious with the bright colors on the black. So there's a picture of the, I can't even tell you, hundreds of cassette tapes that my mom delivered to me. And I put a footer on the bottom. I like to have things that sort of open and close, just like a page, a book, a story needs a header and a footer. What you don't see on the video here as well is that I do use some washi up the top that's a blue striped washi, just so that I have that header and that footer. And my SpiegelMomScraps product that I used for this 80s 90s layout is called Neon Summer. It's the Neon Summer mix, and these are the perfect sequence if you are working on an 80s layout, as they have all of the bright colors, various hues of pink, yellow, and some blue. The only ones that I didn't use that right there is the flower. The flower didn't really go with the geometric theme that I had going on here, so I just kind of got rid of those. So those of you who know me and have followed my videos for a while know that I have a strong love-hate relationship with putting sequins on my pages. I love sequins. I just don't like getting them there. So I used a pick-me-up stick from Silhouette to lift them off the page, used my quick dry adhesive to put a blob on the page, and then stuck them back down using my finger, because the nice thing about the pick-me-up stick is it picks up the sequence, but it doesn't set it down quite so well. So you do need a little bit of help pulling it off the pick-me-up stick. But it's working for now, and it's a great tool for getting sequins on if you're tired of getting sequins stuck to your fingers, as my big old clumpy fingers do. So after I apply this sequence, I want a little bit more to the page. It is a rather simple looking page, but I wanted the emphasis to be on not all of the embellishments, and so I cut from a digital cut file from the Silhouette store these pieces here that will make a cassette tape, and when you can see the cassette tape folds in half, or the design of the cassette tape folds in half, and that allowed me to write my journaling underneath the page there. And I just journaled about these hundreds of cassette tapes that my mom brought me, and what an eclectic mix it is, the story that I opened this video with. So I put that together there and just stick the back half down on the page. And so when it's not in an album, that top flap is rather loose, but it doesn't really matter because it is going into an album and it will stay flat that way. So I'm going to adhere that to the page, and then I'm going to go and find some hot pink stickers to title with, as well as some chipboard alphas, those there that are from Doodlebug. My original thought had been to title it Mix It Up, because there are a ton of mixtapes, homemade mixtapes in there, as well as an eclectic mix of music. But I didn't like the way that Up was going to look. I didn't really leave myself enough room because I'd already adhered those sequences. And so I just called it Mix It, which I thought was fine too. And the other thing after I finish this that you don't see is I do use those doodle bugs. I just use the star asterisk shapes for some additional embellishment. And that's it for my 80s layout today. Thanks for joining me at SpiegelMomScraps. If you use code Suzanna15 when you shop, you will get 15% off. Thanks for joining me. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask and leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to get back to you. Thanks for stopping in today. Take care.